All right, guys, so by now you probably have noticed I don't drive this car very often with the top off. The same can be applied to my C7 Corvette, the 2020 C8 that I had. I don't typically like removing the top, and we're going to talk about why, but also a fix right now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. As you heard there in the beginning, we have a little bit of a fix today for those of you who don't use the Targa top on your car because of the increased wind noise, the increased turbulence, stuff like that. That's where I fall in. I haven't used the top on this car or my C7 really hardly at all because it really is an uncomfortable ride. It seems like there's a lot of turbulence, a lot of noise, so it makes it hard to talk to your passenger if you have one, etc. But we got a fix today. Let's talk about it. And of course, guys, we are talking about the part from Speedway Composites. So what this is going to be, this is actually a really nice travel bag for the part that we're about to talk about. And that is a visor that will go on the top of the car, right where the actual Targa top comes off. So if you guys have taken off the Targa top, you'll see that there's two little spikes that go down in the holes, and then you rotate the handle to kind of clamp it into position. Once you remove the Targa top, then that's where this comes in from Speedway Composite. This is basically their visor that's going to give you another about 2 inches. It's going to push the air up over the car. But what's really beautiful about this is it clamps in with the same kind of spike and the same kind of hardware. So real nice carbon fiber tube here on the handle, and all it's going to do is help push the air up over the top of the car more to give you less turbulence and a more consistent, comfortable ride. If you guys didn't see the previous video where we installed the X brace from Dave, yeah, this thing is an absolute engineering marvel. I mean, look at that thing. It looks gorgeous, and it adds 10% rigidity to the frame of the car. So obviously, Dave knows what he's doing, and I can trust his word on this. So we're going to test this thing out right now. So before we can get the visor installed, we got to get the top off of the car. So let's go ahead and remove the Targa top right now. All right, let's do this. With the Targa top off, we're going to go for a ride, guys, because I want to see just how much velocity and how much air and stuff is moving inside of the cabin. I'm taking my wife with me so you can kind of keep an eye on her hair. We're going to do it stock. Then we're going to come back here, put the visor on, and run it again with just the visor and see how much of a difference there is in air movement. So with the Targa top in the trunk, not latched down yet, we can kind of lift this back enough that we can actually stick the visor underneath here. So we can take it with us, you can travel with it, you don't have to leave it at home. It will actually fit back here even with the Targa top. Here is the wind deflector. We can put it right down in between. It does come with a nice little travel bag too, so you don't have to worry about scratching it up. With that is both in place, we can now clamp the Targa top down, and it is held all firmly in place. We don't have to leave it at home or anything. All right, so here we are, guys. We're going about 20 miles an hour, and Amber and I are already getting a little bit affected by this. So look at her hair, look at my hair. This is 25 miles an hour now. I mean, only 25 miles an hour. Imagine if we're on the highway or a freeway or something. It's going to be way worse. Yeah, look at that. All right, so that's 30 miles an hour. So we're going to pull over now, put the visor on, and see how much of a difference it makes. So here it is. What's really interesting is if you look down in here, can you see that? There's a cutout of a Corvette flag, or if you film it on this side, maybe.
Yep.
See it? Isn't that cool? Gotta love the attention to detail. So basically, we're gonna put these things out. We're gonna take the locator spike and put it right in the stock spot. Actually, pull that handle towards you until it drops down. Yeah. And now you'll just push it down, turn this just like you would the stock Targa top, and that's it. It's on. Once again, a little bit closer up, push it down, turn this in, just like that. We got some carbon fiber, and that thing is locked on there tight. So with the visor on, I can already tell that gives almost 2 more inches of headroom over where we were before. We'll go ahead and put the visors back up. Really nice carbon fiber tubing here. Really, I love the attention to detail. The Speedway Composites, Dave over there, this fits really nicely. Let's go see if it works. So here we are again at about 20 miles an hour. Barely any though. On my hair especially, I can't feel it at all in the front. And actually even on hers, I can't see it on the front as much as I could before. It's more so on the back now. There's definitely less air in this cabin. I would say if we put the windows up with this visor on, there's probably next to no airflow.
Try putting your window up.
Yeah, that's not bad. I think I'm liking it. And there we go, we're at 30 miles an hour now. Barely anything. So this visor definitely helps. Let's see how fast we can go. Up to 40 miles an hour now. Look at that. It is barely moving. I like this a lot. I can tell, I can barely feel it on my hair. I'm sure it's moving a little bit, but it's definitely way more reasonable in here. Quieter, definitely a better, more comfortable ride with the top off. I like this a lot. She's still getting blown a little bit. It's definitely not as much as it was without the visor up there. My hair is barely moving at all in the front. It just gets it now more so in the back. So it pushes it up over the cabin a lot more than it used to. Of course, it's not a 100% fix, but it's moving in the right direction. So here's kind of the driving view here. You can't really even see it unless you look up. If you're just driving normally, you don't really notice the visor at all. And really, I could probably sink down into my seat even further and make it so that thing is basically not touching any part of my head. Obviously, the women are going to be a little bit different, but you can see her hair isn't going crazy. We're going about 40 miles an hour right now, so it's better than it was. I think it's definitely a good invention on Speedway Composites end. It's a little easier to drive without the Targa top, and honestly, if I had to make a phone call right now, I bet most people wouldn't even be able to tell that I had the top off. So this is definitely making it more comfortable for me. This is something you're going to see a lot more often. I can drive without the top on this car and be comfortable. So still going about 35, 40 miles an hour through town here. I'm still feeling way less hair or way less wind on the front of my hair. What do you think, Amber?
I mean, I have really long hair, so it's definitely helps. I feel like I have to have the window up just a little bit, or completely up, and pull it to the side, and it's I barely get any wind.
Okay, so you're saying though, with the visor, it definitely helps.
It helps.
Okay.
I have really long hair though. I mean, it goes down past the middle of my back, so it's kind of hard to keep it in one place to begin with.
Yeah, and I could say the same kind of thing. My hair's not that long, but I can feel less air over my head, where without the visor, it's definitely coming right. It hits me like more in the forehead because of my seating position. So this is definitely helping. It's not a 100% fix by any means, but it's helping to the point where, I mean, how much wind can you hear on the camera? I guess we'll have to wait until whenever I'm editing this to see, but I have a feeling you're going to hear less air with the visor than you do without the visor. All right, and we are back from our ride here, guys. I wanted to give you a little bit better of a view of what this thing looks like while it's installed. So obviously the Targa top is off, the visor is on, and you can see it gives you, it maintains that profile of the roof up another couple inches. It does help push the air over the car a little bit more. Of course, it doesn't stop all of the air from coming in. You really don't want it to stop all of the air because then there's really no point in having the top off. But at the same time, it does lessen it, which is exactly what you want it to do. Now, in this case, I would say this thing is definitely needed if you're a woman with the longer hair. This is going to be something you're definitely going to want. Even as a guy, my sitting position is a little too high, and the air that typically comes off of the roof line right here, it actually comes in and it hits me right in my forehead area. So the entire trip is nothing but wind blasting me in the head. It's not really the most comfortable thing on the planet. So this is definitely a huge help.
Wind and bugs.
Yeah, wind and bugs. The last time I did this in a C7 Corvette, she talked me into taking the Targa top off. It was about 9 o'clock at night, and we were coming home on the turnpike, so about 50 minutes on the turnpike. I got home and I was literally picking bugs out of my hair because that's just the way that the roof line suggests the bugs travel, I guess. But either way, this is a huge win in my opinion. I'll link it in the description down below. Speedway Composites, this is the second item I have from them on the C8 Corvette. And yeah, like I said in the previous video, the X brace from them back here is a huge win, and you can actually feel it. I can actually feel it on the street while driving. The rear end feels more planted. So either way, big thumbs up to Speedway Composites.
Less sway.
Yeah, there's less sway in the rear end. Basically, it just feels more planted, and that's just like semi-aggressive street driving. It wasn't even anything crazy. But if you haven't seen that video, go check that one out. This one is not necessarily about the X brace, but just the Speedway Composite products in general. This thing, and like I said, when this is mounted on here, you can see it's stout. It mounts into those stock locations. It's not going anywhere. And you can see from the side profile here, it just continues the same slope of the windshield for another couple inches. It really does what it needs to do. I like it a lot. So anyway, like I said, check it out in the description down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if it helped you at all, and we will catch you in the next one.